everybody, my name's Eva and I'm hosting this call today. Our guest is Simon Cook, who is a corporal in the Armed Forces. Just a quick thing before we start, if anybody actually wants to get in touch with Simon, for any advice you can email info@thrive-cic.co.uk, and that website link is always in our YouTube bio if you can't find it. So without further ado, Simon, you can take it away.
Thank you very much for the introduction. All right, so my name is Simon Cook. I am 31 years old. I'm from Liverpool. All right, I was born in Mazachli Hospital, so born and bred from Liverpool. I've been in the army for around 9 years now. My regiment is the Irish Guards, so that falls under a combat role. We are a local infantry regiment, so we recruit from Liverpool and Manchester and the surrounding areas. For anyone who doesn't know who the Irish Guards are, if you see outside Buckingham Palace with the lads with the bearskin hats and the red tunics, that's what I do, probably around 10% of the time, with being in the infantry as well. So growing up, I went to Archbishop Beck Sports College. I didn't really like school. Some people like it, some people don't. I've done okay on my GCSEs, but obviously I was more of a hands-on person. Left school, worked as a plasterer and a labourer while I was in Hubert College as well, doing joinery, believe it or not. But I didn't really find my niche, what I wanted to do, until I joined the army. Now, you could say I was always going to join the army at some point in my life. I was the type of kid who ran around the woods with a stick with his brother playing soldiers when he was younger. So as I said, I was always going to join. I always said to myself, I'll join when I'm 20, and my whole 20s, join and see the world, and that is exactly what I've done. I actually had a twin brother who's in. That's one of the other reasons that I joined the Irish Guards. He joined first. He joined straight from school. So I suppose you could say I was always going to do it when the time was right. So a typical day in my life, well, army life, so to speak, it varies on a lot of different factors. So no day is ever the same. And I can honestly tell you that no day will ever be the same in the army. You could be deployed on various overseas exercises around the world, and then you could be on an operational tour, or you could be in camp doing PT, going to the gym, or if like my job, you could be doing ceremonial duties outside Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, or the Tower of London. So we break a typical day's work in the army. We break it down into 7 different categories of jobs in the army. Okay, we have combat, what I am. Okay, so infantry soldier, the biggest part of the army, probably with the most people in it. We have engineering, so people who build bridges, any technical trade, so gas fitting, joinery falls under engineering. Comms, IT and intelligence, so the real signals and anything to do with that sort of side of life, IT, that sort of stuff. We have a medical side of the army, so basically majority of jobs within the NHS, the army does have the equivalent from nurses, obviously, general practitioners, healthcare assistants, dentists, dental assistants, all sorts to do with medical side of life in the army. Okay? HR and finance, so clerks, pay clerks, and also Royal Military Police falls under that. Logistics and support, so RL stable, logistics, and then obviously, and there's another one is called music. Okay, we have a lot of jobs to do with music in the army as well. So obviously, there's quite a lot of job roles in the army, and one thing I can say is there's no typical day. It's all a bit of an adventure. All right. So you only have to watch the news to see what the British Army are doing at this moment in time, all over the world. There's a lot of different jobs going on. We're doing peacekeeping in various places around the world, South Sudan, Cyprus, to anti-poaching patrols in Malawi, to the disaster relief all over the world, even in the UK, UK flood response, filling sandbags, building barriers, and a little bit more recently, down to the COVID pandemic, where my battalion was deployed on various test sites across the UK. So we had a test site in Croxteth Park in Liverpool, which a lot of local lads were happy with, because obviously a lot of lads from the Liverpool joined the regiment, and then we also had testing sites down in Portsmouth, so it varied all over the UK. It is quite a challenging job at times. All right, you've got to be, in my opinion, you've got to be able to think on your feet, be able to think on your feet in some situations. Some situations can be a bit demanding. Things can change at the drop of a hat. And obviously, joining the army at such a young age, 21, 20, by the time my 21, 22nd birthday come around, you're responsible at some point for millions and millions of pounds worth of equipment, obviously. So some days can be quite challenging in the army. It's not all challenging though. There is a lot of fun. You meet new people, making new friends, travel the world with them. The money's very good. Obviously, the longer you're in the army, the more that your money will go up. All right. So what I like about the army is travel. So, for instance, as I said before, I always joined the army to travel and see the world when in my 20s. In that time, I've been to various countries. I've been to Afghanistan, Jamaica, the Falklands, Cyprus, Germany, Kenya twice. So I've seen a lot of places in the world and ticked a lot of things off my bucket list. But I've also seen some not so nice parts of the world, but obviously that comes with the job, right? There's always chances to keep fit and getting paid to do so. Wherever you go in the world, you're pretty much guaranteed that somewhere there's going to be a gym for you to use or a swimming pool. They're always free. And if you're into sports or if you like to play sports, all right, one thing the army is massive on is any sport you can think of, the army will accommodate you to play that sport. And I can't stress that enough. We love it, and they'll push you, and you're world-class facilities, the best trainers. So we're massive on it. In regards to advice on joining the army, my personal advice would be confident in your decision to join, because the army is it is a job, so to speak, but it's a lifestyle change. All right, so you need to be confident and 100% committed in your decision. Don't be pushed into it by anyone. Be proactive. Research what you want to do in the army. Call the careers office. Speak to us. This is what we're here for. Ring us. Go on the army website. Obviously, you don't need to know the ins and outs of exactly how the army works, because a lot of people know quite a bit about the army, but on the other end of the scale, there's people who might know nothing at all. All right. But a tip for me is keep fit. All right. Fitness is a big thing in the army. Obviously, to be in the army, you must know you need to be at a certain standard of physical fitness. You don't need to be Superman or Superwoman. All right. You just need to have a basic level of fitness and have an idea of what you want to do before you make an application. If anyone does want to make an application, feel free to visit the Army website or Army Jobs website, or give us a call on 0151 236 1566. That is the number for the Liverpool Army Careers Office. Thanks for listening.
Okay, fab. Thank you so much. I've got a few questions if you don't mind answering.
Yeah, no problem.
So in terms of like the training process, what was that like?
For the infantry soldier, it can be a little bit quite more rigorous than other job trades, because you need to be a little bit more fit and robust to be in the infantry. But it depends on what job role that you're going into. For instance, if you're going in as maybe a chef or nurse, you don't need to have a level of fitness to join the infantry. Obviously, the infantryman's course is nearly 6.5 months long, so it depends on if you're fit and able to do it, then obviously you'll find it quite a lot easier than other people.
Okay, and like the elimination, because obviously some people is there like a bit of a almost like not an audition, but do you know what I mean? Like people who aren't up to that level.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So obviously in training, some people excel, some people struggle. It's just life. That's what happens. So if you do struggle in training, obviously you're not kicked out the army or something like that. It doesn't work like that. You do something called, you can be back squadded. So that means is if you get to a certain point in training, say for instance week 16, for instance, and you the training staff and notice that you're struggling a bit, you can be back squatted. Now, it's not wrong being back squatted. All you need to, all that means is you might not be fit enough. Your military skills might not be up to scratch. So you can be back squatted a couple of weeks just to rejoin another platoon and just attempt that part of the course again. It happens to quite a few people. Otherwise, I was quite lucky. I went from start to finish straight through. But obviously, that's the ideal way that everyone would like to do it. But sometimes it just doesn't happen.
And is there like almost support for people who that happens to? Or
Yeah, there's various. There's various methods of support in training. There's people you can speak to. There's the padre or military priest. You can call him anytime. There's also various avenues that you can go down in training to speak to people if you needed to.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. And was the point, would you say, during like your experience through like the whole training process and things, did you ever hit like a bit of a brick wall, or did anybody else around you type?
Yeah, you did see people hit a brick wall, but at that point is when you're in training, you become that much of a close-knit unit. If you see someone's down, you're going to say, the whole time you're in training, you're going to have a bad day. Do you know what I mean? If you went through 6.5 months, 7 months of training without having it, it'd be quite strange. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just about noticing someone. If you notice, if you might have had a bit of bad news from home, or his head's not in the game that day, it's all about recognising it, and obviously, it's to say you drag each other through it. That's what you do. And even your training staff are there to help as well. Your platoon commander. So the steps that you can go to help you out.
And like, what valuable skills would you say that the army's given you?
Good at timekeeping.
Good at timekeeping.
Yeah. So it's given me lots of skills in life, especially we have the core values and standards of the army. So that's selfless commitment, courage, discipline, respect for others, integrity. Obviously, that's our ethos. That's how we like to live day to day within the army.
Okay, brilliant. And like, is there anything that you guys do which is almost like a bit of a taster day for people? Or
we did do at the moment, but due to the COVID pandemic, it's all being stopped at the moment. We used to do general army insight courses where we used to take schools, different colleges away for 5 days and just basically give them a look at life. Yeah, we used to do that quite a lot. We do that with the outreach teams. So that would be like a 5-day. You come, live with us. Obviously, you spend in the summer, you might spend the night in the field. You go out, do military lessons, learn to do drill, learn how to make the bed in the morning, all that sort of stuff. So it's like a 5 days. You're in the army for 5 days, so to speak.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. I had no idea that it was that long. I thought it was more like just a day type thing.
No, hopefully, they might be back up and running. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure when they will be, but they could be, sure.
Well, here's hoping and praying.
Yeah,
I've asked all my questions, but again, if anybody wants to get in touch with Simon, just email us and we'll send it over to him. But I just want to thank you for coming onto the call today. It's been really lovely talking to you and hearing about
No problem.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks so much.
All right, cheers.
Lovely talking to you. Bye now. Bye.